CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with the early impact of the trade war on Canada's auto sector. Months into President Trump's tariff era, the cost to businesses and consumers is starting to become clear. Adrian Gobriel reports.
This is basically your American stuff here.
Walking his warehouse floor, manager Moshe Bouillon points out the harsh reality facing Canadian consumers.
We're selling it for like 40% more just because it's cost so much to get.
Tariffs are taking their toll.
This aftermarket brake pad made in China costs about $20 to $30. Same part, made in America, now runs $80.
High W40 engine oil?
The struggle to find new suppliers outside of the U.S. has also left shelves bare with little product to sell.
We've been spending so much time contacting new suppliers, trying to think outside the box to make prices lower for the average person. And we just can't go to these American manufacturers anymore.
The Canadian Federation of Independent Business surveyed 187 small to medium-sized automotive companies and found that revenues have declined by an average of 13% since the trade war began.
I think we're suffering the most because we're not making huge profits already.
The CFIB claims the provincial programs set up to help the auto sector in Ontario have provided little assistance to small and medium-sized auto parts businesses.
No one wants to invest in their business when they don't know what's going to go on in the future, right? It's why we're seeing, paused hiring, paused investment, and revenue losses. And so that's why we need the government to create that certainty.
Finding an off-ramp from the U.S. tariffs has been a challenge. With an August 1st deadline for a trade deal looming, those negotiating on Canada's behalf are trying to leverage our long-standing relationship and natural resources.
Copper, lithium, graphite. We do have better leverage than others, but again, it's like dealing with the mob bus right now. So the law doesn't matter, leverage does.
There are some replacement parts made for the big auto manufacturers, which are CUSMA compliant, meaning no tariff, though many of these aftermarket items made for used cars are slapped with a 25% counter tariff by the Canadian government. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News.
There's growing opposition against the potential site of a new training center for local emergency responders. The nearly $200 million facility has been proposed for a rural farm in London's South End. Daryl Newcomb has more on the latest concerns.
It is Class 1 land.
The Ontario Federation of Agriculture supports a new training centre for police and firefighters, but asked a council committee not to endorse this prime agricultural land at 3242 Manning Drive.
Reconsider the location. That's a great piece of farmland that you're about to lose, and it's a non-renewable resource.
But the mayor echoed a staff report recommending the property after all other city-owned properties were evaluated, including a short list of 15 sites.
A burn tower, a shooting range, a canine training, a scenario training, those are not something that you necessarily want in close proximity to a neighborhood.
Ward Councillor Elizabeth Pelosa pushed back.
My residents might not be significant in numbers, but their concerns of quality of life and safety are significant.
Pelosa adding that the rural residents of South London have not even been consulted yet.
This isn't going to require any rezoning, so there's been no public participation meetings.
You talk about continuing to engage with the public. I don't believe the public has been engaged with at all.
Residents worry about smoke or chemicals escaping the site during hazmat and fire training. The fire chief responding that only so-called clean burns that do not emit smoke will occur.
This site is preferred over something closer to the highway due to the smoke. So I'm looking to see what the smoke will actually be, if any, because if there won't be smoke, you can maybe consider a different location.
The site with that talked about the smoke, there was other mitigating factors for that site, but I'm not sure what factors those were.
The staff report recommending the Manning Drive location references a previous feasibility study by London Police, but that feasibility study isn't being provided to members of council.
That report was not commissioned by the City of London and done through the London Police Services. I believe that report would be held in confidence.
The committee eventually backed the recommended location.
This is a well-researched, well-vetted recommendation from our staff that I am very supportive of.
It was based on a report that City Council and committee didn't get. We don't have access to it.
I had this long list of questions, most of which would have been answered with the feasibility report. Like, I want to look at that whittled down list of 15, because I was hearing two things about smoke today, which I think were contradictory.
Council's expected to make a final decision on Tuesday. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
Provincial police say one person was arrested this afternoon after a day-long standoff near Port Stanley. A police negotiator could be heard on a loudspeaker calling out to someone on the property, surrounded by heavily armed tactical response officers. The investigation appeared focused on a rural property on Bush Line, with police demanding the person inside come out peacefully. Late this afternoon, OPP posted on social media saying one person was taken into custody without incident, and at no point was there any threat to public safety. A local campaign against rat poison has launched in London, opposing the pest control method because of the risks it poses to pets. Lauren Stallone reports.
Torchy was an adventurous pup who spent hours hunting for rodents. But what seemed like a harmless hobby quickly turned dangerous, ultimately leading to Torchy's demise.
Taking her to the vet, we started to realize that her liver was shutting down, her blood wasn't coagulating properly, started to get sores in her mouth, having trouble eating, which was all signs of rodenticide toxicity.
Torchy had come in contact with poisons frequently used to manage rats and mice around buildings.
It was traumatizing. There was a lot of anger that came with it. But then I realized that, a lot of people don't know. People put out these poisons because they're sold them and they're told that they're safe for pets and for wildlife.
Animal advocates say it can take up to 1 week for the poison to kill the rodents. During that time, they are weak and out in the open, making them easy prey.
This is problematic for, all the scavenger species that, and predators that rely on these animals as a source of food. And also, that's how dogs and cats can also get into them.
A citizen-led campaign that launched in London Monday is aimed at preventing similar deaths from happening in the future.
Rodenticide Free Ontario is the lead on this campaign, which is trying to raise awareness of the harms and risks posed by the use of rodenticides.
The group is calling on the government and building operators to use lower impact and more effective alternatives.
The use of poison as a strategy for managing pest infestations in buildings is not typically very effective unless you are dealing with the actual reason for why you have an infestation in the first place.
Campaign ads can be seen on buses around London featuring photos of pets that have been killed by rodenticides. Lauren Stallone, CTV News.
The supervisor for London Health Sciences Centre issued a brief statement today after news of last week's legal drama. David Mouche says he will stay on as long as needed to ensure the hospital's recovery, writing, "I have heard firsthand both the organization and the broader London community are seeking stable, consistent leadership, and I remain fully committed to helping guide LHSC through its transformation." Last week, the hospital filed a pair of civil lawsuits totaling $60 million. LHSC officials are accusing former employees and executives of orchestrating a decade-long fraudulent procurement scheme. The second claim accused the hospital's former CEO and other top officials of ignoring the potential fraud. The statements of claim have not been tested in court. Last year, the entire board of directors resigned, and there's still no public timeline for when a new board will be installed. The provincial government appointed Mouche as supervisor last fall. London fire crews were called to a kitchen fire last night. The fire department posted these images on social media. Responders say they were called to a multi-unit building on Adelaide Street North because of smoke. When they got there, they say they found a fire in a second-floor kitchen, and it was quickly extinguished. Fire officials say unattended cooking likely started the fire, and the tenant is working with their landlord to arrange other accommodations. One of London's former Hudsons Bay locations is about to get new tenants, at least temporarily. With more on the short-term plans for the empty department store space at White Oaks Mall, here's Rita Ismail.
The sign for the iconic Hudsons Bay company came down inside White Oaks Mall today, and the space is now available for lease.
We're thrilled to be able to find new uses for this incredible space that we do have at the mall. It's been a staple part, original part of the mall.
Westdale Development Corporation, who owns and operates White Oaks Mall, has begun actively leasing the space, with Spirit Halloween moving in this week to set up, followed by the Modern Market Series, formerly known as the Modern Mom Show.
We were actually approached by White Oaks Mall at our last event. They came to us offering this incredible empty department store for us to use.
With high requirements for their vendors, Malucci says the space is perfect.
Our brands bring in big displays, and having ground level access is amazing. Plus, the families that come in with strollers, there's a ramp to come in from outside. There's going to be 2 entrances into the event. There's going to be an entrance in from the mall. Everything needs to look beautiful, and this is the perfect blank slate for us to start from.
The 2 Hudsons Bay locations in London officially closed June 1st. Now the White Oaks location, which is about 165,000 square feet of space, sits empty and ready to be used in a different capacity.
The reality is department stores are not as attractive in all markets as they used to be. So we're taking over the space and really repurposing it to support the city, support the community, support them all in the best way possible.
We'll do like cedar trees here with...
One of those ways will be the Modern Market Series, happening November 21st and 22nd, with thousands of people expected to attend. Vendor applications launch this Friday, July 18th. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
The union representing more than 50,000 Canadian postal workers has set a vote for Monday on a new collective agreement. The federal government had stepped in last month once it became clear Canada Post officials and union leaders were stuck at an impasse. Another countrywide strike has been on the table for months, while an overtime ban has been put in place. The vote will take place between July 21st and August 1st. Union leaders have told members to vote no on the proposal. The survivor of a fatal canoe capsize on Lake Huron this week is sharing what that experience was like for him, knowing a friend of his did not make it. Scott Miller reports.
Anthony Lippett is frankly lucky to be alive.
It's not something I ever want to have to go through and watch ever again, and I don't think I'll step foot in a canoe again.
After finishing up a job near Howdenvale, north of Sable Beach on Monday evening, Lippett says he, his co-worker, and 14-year-old boss's son went out for a canoe ride in Lake Huron. When they left shore, the lake was calm, but it quickly turned wavy, he says, dumping all 3 and their canoe into the water.
We fought for about 7 minutes to get the thing going, flipped back over, couldn't do it, said leave it, and we tried to swim back to shore. Got about halfway back, Dan was running out of breath, I was out of breath. I told him to grab my foot, and I'll try and pull him as I go. And I went under the water, then next thing you know, he's not there anymore.
Lippett and the 14-year-old made it to shore and called 911, but it was too late. Lippett says his co-worker, he identifies as 32-year-old Dan Pegalo, didn't survive.
Yeah. 32 years old, he's got 4 kids and a wife.
Now, the OPP has now got involved, putting out a province-wide plea for people this summer to pay attention when they're out on the waterways. They're saying there have been so many marine fatalities so far this summer, and so many of them have been preventable.
You never plan on having an accident out in the water, but if you ever do fall overboard or have a medical event or something, we want you to have your PFD on for your safety, and also think about your family. They expect you to come home at the end of the day.
Lippett says neither he or Pegalo were wearing life jackets in the canoe when it capsized.
If you find yourself in the water and you happen to get a gulp of water and you start choking and spitting, and that's when panic sets in, and there goes your swimming skills, and you're going to find yourself in trouble. So don't assume that you can make it to shore.
An online fundraiser has been set up to support Dan Pegalo's family. In Midwestern Ontario, Scott Miller, CTV News.
A construction mishap in Aylmer knocked out power for one neighborhood today. Someone driving a dump truck appeared to have not fully lowered the bed, taking down multiple hydro poles, leaving the street littered with wires. The incident closed down the street for the cleanup. No injuries have been reported, and local officials expected power to be restored by 8 p.m. tonight.
So I'd finished up work and got a quick picture message actually from my fiance there. Just, hey, this is happening in our front yard, no hydro. At that point, mildly inconvenienced until I got home and saw the full scope of everything and had to park a couple blocks down. We're pretty much leaving everything in the house closed up. It's hot.
A new Mediterranean-themed supermarket is opening up in southwest London. Management with Adonis Mediterranean say they're planning a mid-August opening at Wonderland near Warncliffe. The new store's manager says rapid growth in the area and increasing interest in cuisine from that part of the world were motivating factors for establishing the new franchise location.
All the communities love to taste different cultures' food. So we become the Middle Eastern as well as in the international food.
And the International Trombone Festival is at Western University this year. More than 600 trombonists from around the world are in London right now for the 4-day festival. All events are open to the public, which include performances, lectures, and master classes. There will also be a street party downtown Friday night. It's the first time the event has ever been held in Canada.
It puts London and Western and our music faculty on the map. A lot of people outside of Canada didn't know that this city even existed. So all of a sudden we have hundreds of some of the world's best and most enthusiastic trombonists here in town. So it lets people know that something's happening here and that this is an epicenter for brass music.
Later on CTV News, what happens when a watermelon is left waiting too long? The explosive potential if the fruit starts fermenting. Checking today's markets, Canada's main stock index was up today on the strength of gains in the tech sector. The TSX gained 99 points. In New York, the Dow added 231, the Nasdaq up 53. The Canadian dollar was essentially unchanged, a loss of just 1/100 of a cent. On commodity markets, gold moved up more than $22 an ounce. Oil lost 18 cents a barrel. The Prime Minister was in Hamilton today with a message of support for the country's steel industry. Mark Carney says Canada has to become our own best customer, introducing new measures to support the sector. Heather Wright reports.
This Hamilton, Ontario steel fabricator has been in business for 70 years and had been sending nearly 70% of its products south of the border. Now that number is close to zero.
This is Steel Town for a reason.
Today, the Prime Minister was in Hamilton announcing measures to help Canada's steel industry. By the end of the month, Ottawa will tighten the quota for steel coming from countries without a free trade agreement like China and Turkey to half of 2024 levels. Anything beyond that will face a tariff of 50%. This measure is aimed at reducing foreign steel that has flooded the Canadian market, much of it diverted here after the United States imposed tariffs on the global steel industry in March. And with Canadian steel producers effectively shut out of the U.S., Mark Carney says this will help them sell their products domestically.
For Canada to build big things fast, we need our steel industry to advance, not retreat.
As Canada embarks on massive infrastructure spending, the Prime Minister also announced that any companies bidding on government projects will have to use Canadian steel.
We will change the federal government's procurement process to require companies contracting with the federal government to source Canadian steel for government contracts.
The tightened quota and increased support for laid-off workers announced today come after the steel industry said measures announced last month didn't go far enough.
We got things going on south of the border. We can't control all of that. But what we can control is here in Canada. Let's make Canada the best.
Asked about ongoing trade negotiations with the United States, the Prime Minister would not say what level of tariffs Canada would accept, nor would he say whether Canada would impose additional retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods. He said both were good questions, but said answering them in the midst of trade talks would be a bad response. Heather Wright, CTV News, Hamilton, Ontario.
We've had some scattered showers and thunderstorms and moving through. The chance will continue overnight, but waking up to cloudy conditions and the probability will drop down to about a 30% chance. Thanks, Darren, for this photo of Aspen. If you're heading out for a walk Thursday morning, 22 degrees, a chance for showers on the lower end. The cold front comes through mid-morning into the early afternoon with a wind shift out of the northwest. That'll bring an end to the high humidity. Stay with us. I'll have all your local forecast details coming up.
Welcome back with meteorologist Julie Atchison. Now, yesterday we were talking about just how dry it was. Started to get some of that precipitation today and continuing maybe into tomorrow.
Yeah, we have some thunderstorms still moving through the area tonight. This is all in advance of a cold front. That cold front will come across the area as we head into tomorrow. So 30 degrees are high today. It felt like the upper 30s this afternoon. Warm conditions holding strong through the overnight. 22 degrees are low. As we head to Midwestern Ontario, 20 to 22. Now the winds have been out of the southwest through the day today. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are moving through, prompting Environment Canada to issue a special weather statement talking about the intensity of some of these storms and bringing a lot of rain in a very short period of time. So there's a lot of moisture in the lower levels to tap into. Now the cold front that's going to come into the area tomorrow, there won't be a whole lot with it, but you can see tonight we do have some scattered showers along the frontal boundary itself. So as we go out 48 hours through the day tomorrow, we will see a few showers first thing in the morning, especially in through parts of Grey and Bruce County. And then as we head into the afternoon, overcast conditions. Friday is looking absolutely perfect. So this cold front will bring us a fresh wind out of the northwest. That will dry those lower levels out. All of that humidity scouring it out, bringing us some beautiful, comfortable conditions. Friday is going to be an absolutely perfect day. So this is the cold front. It'll sweep that humid air off to the east. High pressure will build in on its heels, and then that cloud cover will start to break up as we head into Thursday night. Skies will clear out and conditions improving. Now your forecast for your Thursday, cloudy in the morning at 22, 23, still quite muggy first thing in the morning until the winds shift, and it will take some time for the winds to really take out that moisture. 25 through the late afternoon, the winds 30 with gusts to 50, and that's the cooler conditions coming in. Our East Park forecast for your Friday, Banner's Day, 25 degrees. It doesn't get much better than this time of year. Southern Ontario usually deals with the heat and humidity endlessly through the summer months, and rarely do we get a nice weekend setting up. Saturday, another beautiful day, a mix of sun and cloud, comfort levels ideal, and then the chance for a few showers on Sunday, although expecting a mix of sun and cloud. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, a mix of sun and cloud. We won't heat up until Tuesday. We'll see the humidity roll back in Tuesday into Wednesday, but we will have a nice stretch with some comfortable conditions. Midwestern Ontario, cloudy first thing in the morning, and then the chance for showers in through Grey and Bruce County. The rest of the region just overcast conditions. Friday, beautiful sunshine, although if you're near the lake Friday, it won't feel extremely warm. It won't be humid. It'll feel quite fresh, especially if you're in and around Grand Bend, Bayfield, Sauble area. Temperatures will be cool. 26 on Saturday under a mix of sun and cloud with the chance of some nighttime rain, and a mix of sun and cloud Sunday, Monday, Tuesday into Wednesday. Probabilities holding steady at about a 30% chance as we head into early next week with daytime highs in the heat and humidity moving back in on Tuesday. Carlyle, back to you.
Thanks, Julie. If you've got a watermelon at home waiting to carve into it this summer, you may want to double check its condition, because under certain circumstances, they can start fermenting. And if that happens, you might have a ticking time bomb on your hands. Matt Gilmore reports.
It popped like a balloon. Water went everywhere.
You may have seen videos like this circulating online.
Can anybody out there tell us what the hell is going on with our watermelon?
Of watermelons oozing foam, the insides turned to mush. One CTV viewer who wished to remain anonymous because of his work sent us these pictures of a watermelon he bought earlier this month that exploded on his kitchen counter hours after he brought it home from the store.
It's actually a very natural process of fermentation, basically.
Food industry expert Sylvain Charlebois says it's actually not uncommon for watermelons to explode during extreme heat.
Sugar gets converted into gas inside the watermelon when it gets really, really hot, especially in the summer.
And because the peel is thick and airtight, pressure can quickly build.
You can easily make a natural bomb out of it because it's so tight and the gas will stay inside.
Charlebois says it's a good idea to check watermelons for bumps or dents before buying them. Signs the watermelon has already started to ferment, usually because of a mistake during transportation.
Sometimes there's a breach in the cold chain, which could actually trigger the process of fermentation prematurely. So by the time the product gets to the store, it's already too late.
It's most likely the reason this watermelon exploded shortly after it was brought home. Charlebois says you should never eat a watermelon that started to ferment, and recommends taking it back to the store for a refund. Matt Gilmore, CTV News.
Finally tonight, a local dragon boat team representing Canada at the World Championships. As Brent Lail reports, just a few days into competition and they're already racking up medals.
Members of London's robust dragon boat team are part of the first ever breast cancer division world champions.
It's crazy to think that when we started Robust 26 years ago, that some of us would be representing Canada with Canada on our backs at a world championship.
Linda Kuska was one of 2 flag bearers for Canada.
Reach it out.
Coach Cheryl McLaughlin is leading Canada's contingent, which includes 20 local paddlers.
This is the very first time that the world have recognized breast cancer survivor as a division. So Sarah and I started this crusade in 2009, saying to the international community that these are athletes too, and they should have a division at the world level.
Jane Holman is having a great week, a gold in U18 1,000 meters and silver in the mixed 2K. She's a second-generation paddler whose mother is a breast cancer survivor.
I've grown up with Robust. My mom joined about 7-8 years ago, so they really helped bring me into this sport. Every time in the boat, think of her, think of what she's done to get here.
And the medals keep on coming. Gabe Murray, a U18, and his mother Abby, a senior A paddler, both won gold.
It goes to show the caliber of coaching that we receive out here at Fanshawe Lake. I started 3 years ago as a newbie in the boat. The coaching here is outstanding. Just you can see the results.
And for the 62-year-old Kuska, tears have been shed wearing the Canadian flag.
Paddling for Canada means that you are representing, for me, every breast cancer survivor that survived. We're always thinking of those who have not survived. I'm just so proud to wear that Canada on my back, and I just never thought I'd have the opportunity to do that.
Brent Lail, CTV News.
That's it for us. Thanks for watching. For all of us at CTV News London, I'm Carlyle Fiset. Have a good night.